guys, welcome to another episode of The Moment of Men. My name is Shawn Sims. This is Charles Williams, and we got a special guest with us today, our brother Francodea.
Yeah.
So what's up to the crowd, Franco?
What's up?
So I had Franco over to the house today. We were checking our schedule to do our normally scheduled podcast today, but we were having a really heated discussion on a topic that one of our boys is dealing with right now. So we're going to change topics today, and we're going to because what we were going to do today, Chuck. Why don't you tell them what we were going to do today?
We were going to have a discussion, and the idea was that knowing the difference between protection of women and children and abuse. But then we got on the subject with Franco, and the conversation went to a different realm. And this conversation we thought we needed to share this with y'all because it's so deep, and it's an old topic. Right? Age old, Franco was just talking about how my dad taught me the same thing. All of our dads and uncles have mentioned this. Somewhere. Yeah. And the old topic is, can you turn a hoe into a housewife? Now, keep in mind, we still spiritual, so we're going to include some spiritual, but this is going to be a very different topic with a little bit of street views to it.
So let me, I want to preference the conversation with, it's a friend of ours that's going through a situation. Well, I didn't say his name. You didn't say his name. He's not going to know. He's going to watch the podcast. He
was like, yeah, you doing these dirty.
He's going to watch it now. For sure.
He might.
I'm going to call him and be like, yo, you hear them dudes over there talking?
Hey, bro, they should get him on the phone right now. I
don't got no problem with it. This is just a topic. I don't know what he's talking about. He's talking about Frank. I don't know what he's talking about, bro.
So why don't you carry the conversation? So what happened?
Yo, listen. And for all
what happened.
Listen, and for all y'all who got that homie that tells the truth and don't care about your feelings, loves you more than he cares about your feelings, this is it for us. Francodea is the truth. Listen.
Wait. That's not. We all like that. We all.
No, we care about each other's feelings.
By how he says stuff. Yeah. It's just totally unfiltered.
Right. So
that's why we love him.
Right. So and we always will. So a couple years ago, we was out. And then we were just talking about historians, not just one of our friends, all of us. And Franco had to call us out. And I remember one time I was dating this girl. She had a situation going on. I'm not putting out there like that. And we had a conversation. And I was like, I was ignoring so much. And I was like, perhaps we can do this. Perhaps we could. I was at the table. I was like, I don't know. This could be different. And Franco looked at me dead across the table. Was like, yo, man. You just gotta understand, you don't always know what the fuck you think you know, and that ain't your bitch. And I was like, what the fuck? Right? And I'm sitting there, and this is the new beginnings of our relationship. And he was like, yeah. He was like, you think you're gonna get away with something, but I'm gonna let you know. You next. It ain't yours, it's your turn. And I was like, damn, nigga, we in a restaurant, chill out. He was like, I'm just saying, you next. And chill. That shit stuck with me. Somebody calling you.
What do you mean by that, though?
Somebody calling you on the thing. I don't know if you got to ignore that.
I just ignore it. Sorry, it's a call. Okay. I hope it doesn't mess up. But what did that actually mean?
It stuck with me because I was like, we all talk about biblically, right? Like, so we all in our different walks in our faith.
Next to get played.
Yeah, but streetwise, next to get played. But on a biblical term,
maybe we can do this. Maybe we can do that.
Yeah.
Talking about how the girl, and I'm like, no, bro, you next. You next to get played. That's what it is.
Yeah, but he ain't said that sweet.
Bro, no, it was more intense when we was talking like at that time and shit. Like
so getting back to the topic at hand, right? So we have a friend who is involved in the relationship with how should I put this?
A lady with a history.
You about to do that?
A lady with a history.
Well, that's why we got you on.
We just said. We just said.
Ain't gonna like
no. We said no.
As a matter of fact, man, you don't like me anyway.
No. We know
you don't like me anyway.
No.
Like me anyway.
No. He don't like me. No, stop. Shoot. Hold on. Let me clear this.
Let me say something. Let me just say something.
Go ahead.
Let me just get this out there. It's okay to not like me.
But that's not the case.
Okay.
No, but
It's
listen.
okay. Hold on. No, you don't have to justify him not liking me.
I'm not.
It's okay for him to not like me. These are the facts. Whether he likes me or doesn't like me, I'm just stating the facts. He don't have to like me.
So
these
Franco,
are the facts. So I ain't gonna like me.
Let me just address that.
You have to like me.
But see, that's the thing. If it was a thing that he didn't like you,
He said it.
No, he didn't.
He didn't like my tattoos. He didn't. This man one of my whole personal aura.
No, that's not what he said. Listen, okay. Well, when I talked to him, the conversation was
he didn't like that I knew.
He didn't. No.
He didn't like the places.
No.
He doesn't have street. People out there don't.
That's why I'm trying to break. That's why I'm trying to break it down.
All right.
The friend that he's talking about doesn't have street. He doesn't have street wisdom, right? No, none whatsoever. You know, and he's totally removed from that. So he didn't understand Franco's approach. So what he said when he came to me, Chuck, I don't understand, because he knows I understand both worlds. And I was like, nah, it isn't that. It's just that out of respect for you, because where Franco come from, he will tell you as it is. He does it to all of us. So it's out of love you. Franco, if he don't love you, he ain't answering your calls. He ain't bother talking. Franco will walk right past you and see you and your whole family and be like, I don't know that nigga no more. That's just who he is. So I was trying to explain that to him, so then he understood it. So it's not that he don't like you. He don't understand the approach. He don't understand the forthcoming.
Maybe I should have told him I saw.
So Franco,
I should have told him the real definition of what I meant. Maybe I should have got in depth, but I didn't want to actually spoil.
So why don't you tell the people who you are, especially on social media right now, who you are, where they can find you, and what you do? Why don't you explain that to the people, and then we can get into that.
Guys, I do everything.
Got cartoon characters. He got art. He got designs. He's a photographer. He's flying. He's rapping. He got some hot joints too.
Yeah,
you saw that I lit
That was not the time.
Okay.
I'm an artist. I'm an artist. Right? I'm on Instagram, Francodea. I don't really be on Facebook like that.
Well, we on TikTok, so we're on TikTok.
Follow me on Instagram. I don't know if I got TikTok.
But he's on Instagram. On Instagram.
At Francodea.
At Francodea. Okay, for Instagram.
He's going to hashtag at the end of the video, everybody.
So Franco paints on clothes. He paints on canvas. It's all one-on-one artwork. It's phenomenal. It's all based in mental illness because that's a lot of stuff that he deals with. And I do a lot of his photography for him because I do photography and videography. So we hook up that way.
Notice the plug.
But no. But I did. No, this is a real plug. Nah, we're gonna plug on art right now.
Plug on art. I know plug
also plug on art.
Plug on art.
But also, Franco is a former rapper. He's got ties with Kobe Bryant and a lot of the rap stars out there now. He does beats and produces, or has done before. And also his son is a phenomenal basketball player, and that's how we got to know each other, because my son played basketball with his son in high school, and so we were at a high school basketball game, and this brother is yelling at the top of his lungs at his son, and I'm like, who the hell is this dude yelling at De Niro? Because I never met him. Yeah. And we just sat down and talked, and then after the season was over, we had a conversation, and we just really connected and come to love each other as brothers. And
wait a minute, how long did it take before you and Franco did that? Like 3 months?
Yeah, probably like 3-4 months.
Yeah, 8 years before you even start talking to me. I see how it is.
Because I ain't like you.
I see.
But Franco also is a brother that knows the neighborhood, has been in the streets, and when he came upon our boy and this girl, there was an issue.
It was in a smack dead. It was smack dead in the hood, and where crack be. It was right, man. They was in the trenches. Possibly without. Then I don't want to know what I'm talking about.
Well, he obviously want to know.
He smack dead in the trenches with a crack whore sitting on your lap, and you want me to walk by. I did it for you and you, because I don't really fuck with him like that. I just know him through y'all. Right. Then I walked up on the porch, said some shit to him. She knew who I am, she know why. She knew who I was, and I know, like I told her. Maybe I should have told him the other shit about the bodily fluids and shit and all that on the face and shit. But I don't, I should have took for what I said to him. He ran and sit and told you shit about and why he didn't like me. That's
Franco,
what I'm saying. Like,
listen, that's not the way it went, though, Franco.
How it go, Chuck?
Because I was trying to clarify.
Chuck whack him.
Listen, with this, I always got a new nickname. For what's the last one I used
Chuck
to?
Chickamonga.
Chuck Chickamonga.
Now you Chucky whack him.
You're right.
Chucky whack him.
Yo, you gotta be.
All right. So on today's topic, right?
Right.
Can you turn a hoe into a housewife?
No, man.
So here's a discussion.
No,
right?
no. This is a topic. You don't got to answer. You don't got to answer right. That's just a topic.
You
No, I wasn't.
Yes,
I wasn't. You didn't even know where I was going with it.
I'm not going to stop.
So wait. So
I'm not going to stop.
So that's today. That's just today's topic. And he said no. So that's Franco's answer. But our boy is trying to do that, right? Yeah, he is making a valid attempt to get this woman clean and to marry her and to make him his new wife, right? Right?
Wait.
You was almost next.
Wait. So,
I ain't gonna put her in there. I ain't gonna even put her in there. What we just all was talking about, I ain't even gonna say. I'm just gonna say that. We just talked about before this.
So, in hopes, I interjected to say, if a woman has a relationship with Christ and she cleanses herself for Christ and she truly has a relationship with Christ,
I'm sorry.
No, because God can perform miracles.
I don't think Jesus Christ can save a whore, bro.
Or he did.
Me personally, I don't think so.
Actually, that was the first person he revealed himself to in the Bible.
Get Christ in their life, and then they leave from out the church and go get some other dick in their life. Right. That's just how it go. You take her to church, then you take her.
So
take it. No,
that's not you.
Wait.
Okay, so yeah. Okay.
Matter of fact, it's going on in the church. You got whores in. You don't have whores in church. I'm gonna put the water bottle down. You don't have whores sitting at church Sunday faithfully.
So here,
right. So what I'm saying is. Even then.
Okay, so what else? Okay, so women. Wait. Man, that's so women. Wait. So
nobody can save a whore.
So women.
I don't think nobody can save a whore.
God can.
So women. Listen.
Save her from what?
Listen.
From herself, because
whorism. That's a religion in its own. Whorism is a
right, but that's based in so much
Christianity. You got
Buddhism and whorism.
You got Buddhism
and whorism.
You got Islam and you got whorism, bro. You got whorism.
Listen.
So,
oh my God. So here what I got now. Yeah. Here's the thing.
That's a religion.
No, you can't force a woman into a change, right? That's between her and God. And God has to break that spirit. Because that is a spirit that's inside of her. So she needs to take that to God. If she has a relationship with Christ and confesses herself and follows Christ, that is something greater than herself. Because now she's serving herself instead of serving her flesh. And for me, and for most men, right, the reason why in the relationships that you don't want to cheat is because you're no longer serving your flesh. You're serving a purpose and you're serving God. Like I would say when I was married, my wife, God rest her soul, the reason why I never wanted to go running in the streets and doing all that is because I had to answer to something that was greater than me. It was God.
Was Jesus
what
married?
She couldn't see. No, Jesus wasn't.
You know why?
Jesus was married
because
to the sinner.
He knew what couldn't be saved.
God, Jesus Christ was pure.
That's why he knew.
No,
I think he knew. I ain't gonna lie. I think he knew what was going on. I think he knew how women are. But not all of them though. Not all women. Not all women is whores.
So
like not all women is whores. It's whores, and then there are women. You got women. Whores and women are two different things. Whores got their own category.
I think Chuck explained it really.
Women are on one side, and then whores are on another.
Wait.
Two different.
Wait, just slow down.
Two different things.
Because I think Chuck explained it really well as far as the spirit in them, right? And so if we're talking about a spirit, and you have a spirit of lust, right, and the desire, right, it's no different from men who deal with the same thing. Actually, men probably are the biggest whores.
We can't be whores. We don't receive anything.
Well, biggest individuals when it comes as far as to lust
creatures and
having sex and wanting sex,
right?
And so being labeled as wanting and having sex alive, if that's what a woman is, and you want to call her a whore.
Hold on, brother.
Wait, let me finish.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So,
because I got something for you. Go ahead. Because you just go ahead. Go on.
I am. If you just be quiet.
Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So here lies the deception of the difference between men and women in our lustful nature, right? Women get labeled as the whores, men get labeled as what? Dogs.
Yeah.
Or and
which is a compliment though, because
exactly right.
Creatures in that simple.
Wait. Men view that as a good thing for us to have a lot of women at a time, because
we're by nature taught to divide and conquer. Right,
but what you just said before about the spirit, our spirit,
right?
You know, that's not what we should be doing. And so it's not Christ-like. So if we're talking about Christ-like, then one man is supposed to have one woman, right? That's what Scripture says, right?
But Christ, the love of Christ and the Spirit and the blood of Jesus singes the flesh. So my thing is that I no longer, and especially at my age right now, and my source of wisdom, I don't have it as, like, I would honestly say, right, real talk conversation. If a woman telling me, entices me, or says, "Oh, I want to bring you and my girlfriends," I don't even want that spirit on me. I don't want that. I don't even want to carry that sin, and I don't want that on my flesh. Right. Because the idea of threesome, being with 3 chicks or 2 chicks, I don't want that on my flesh. Because me as a spiritual man, I got my faults.
I do. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a true faithful believer in God. I don't think He ain't punishing me for that. I'm going to heaven for different reasons. He ain't not gonna let me not in because I had a 3-some, 4-some, 5-some.
No, you will be forgiven.
Right up in there.
Yeah, you will be forgiven.
But it'd be somebody else who ain't having one doing some other shit that won't go get up in there.
But here's my thing, Franco. How does that help you curb your spirit for the woman that God has for you one day?
He don't have one. He doesn't have one.
No. That's not.
You don't have one. Back in the biblical days, they had more than one, and the kings had concubines, and then
every king had. How many wives did Solomon have? Yeah, but every king.
How many wives did Solomon have, Chuck?
Okay, but every king that had multiple wives, all kingdoms failed.
Mine can fail too. Then, as long as I get into heaven, I don't care about a kingdom on earth. I want my kingdom in heaven. Yeah, my kingdom on earth fell because I had 700 wives. I don't care. My kingdom is in heaven. My kingdom is in heaven. I don't care about no kingdom on earth. I'm going to have my 700 wives. Man, this earthly visit that we really on, you really got to understand what it is. This earthly visit that we on here, you here temporarily. You just visited. You get caught up in the earthly ways and all this. This ain't about nothing. Now, my kingdom is in heaven. So when I'm worried about my kingdom being in heaven, I ain't going to be up there with 3-somes, 4-somes in heaven. So I'm going to have them down here. And then when I have them down here, I'm up there. I'm going to be on my best behavior.
That's not the way it works, Franco.
It is how it works.
God prepares you. God prepares you for a place in heaven.
Okay.
Dog, and if you got 13
you think it's whores roaming around in heaven?
Hell no.
All right then.
Former hoes. They are forgiven.
So you won't lust for that. Lust is sin. And when you go to heaven, you won't have that.
I'm gonna have it right down here on earth because I'm visiting.
Right.
I'm just a visitor of earth, bro. Visitor.
So yes.
Are you a visitor of earth? Are you visiting earth? Or do you
when I got water in my mouth, you have to warn me because we're not trying to splash the camera.
Do you permanently plan to be on earth forever?
No, but
are you a visitor?
What I want to do while I'm on the earth, what I want to do when I'm on the earth, what I want to do on the earth is live a godly life as much as I can.
Who said multiplying? Who said being fruitful and sowing your royal oats, as they would say, is not being godly?
That's not in the Bible.
Huh?
That's not in the Bible.
If Solomon had 700 wives, he had to sleep with 700 or 600 of them.
And what happened to his kingdom?
I ain't worried about my earthly kingdom. Didn't I just say that? Because Solomon's kingdom fell. He's straight. He's still in the Bible. We still speak of his name in highly grace, don't we?
He's the wisest man.
He's the wisest man in the Bible, so we still speak of his name in highly grace. Let me be Solomon, bro. You can be Chucky Wackham can be whoever he want to be down here with one wife.
That's all I need.
That's great.
Yes. Okay. All right. Yes.
Multiple wives or whatever.
Had over 700 wives, right? But I talked to you about this yesterday.
These hoes not loyal anyway, though. y'all niggas, y'all don't get it.
Right, but you just said out your mouth, there's hoes and then there's women. We can't put them two together. Because the hoes can't... Listen, I just had this conversation with a friend of mine, and I said to her, I had a conversation, right? She was out somewhere, and these two girls were over there twerking, and the type of restaurant it wasn't appropriate, right? It was an upscale restaurant, and the kitchen guy...
Why they can't twerk?
Hold on.
What's wrong with twerking?
Hold on, man.
Hold on. What's wrong with twerking?
I don't want my steak...
Go to judgmental stuff.
Hold on. I don't want my steak and my cakes on the same plate.
I don't want to ask you personal business in your bedroom, but when you watch porn,
it's inappropriate.
So twerking is what's wrong with twerking?
Listen.
Some women make a living off of twerking.
I know, but not in the strip club. We had strip club, dog.
In strip club,
we wanted a strip club. We went to steak club, dog. Like we was in an upscale steak club, dog.
Maybe not the place some money out
there. Wasn't nobody tipping her. The only thing you saw was the tip of her ass. Ain't nobody tipping nothing.
I'm looking. I'm straight.
Jesus.
Listen. Make it clap in the steakhouse.
Listen, we wanted tenderloins, not her tenderloins.
Why you mad?
No, because hold on. I'm not.
No. Twerking?
No, I do, but wait, when it's appropriate.
She didn't look good.
Yeah, she beautiful.
So if it was Beyonce twerking in the steakhouse, would you be mad?
Jay's wife, dog.
No. Okay, she wasn't Jay's wife. If Beyonce, somebody was looking like Beyonce or Rihanna or whatever, twerking in the steakhouse, would you be mad?
Yes, because you need to say chili and Hollywood. Hold on, you need to say. Hold on. Here's
Beyonce.
No, hold on. No, hear what you need to do.
I'll be mad.
Listen, do Shinsia.
Huh?
Shinsia, Halle Berry, and Chili from TLC. I won't be married.
What?
Yeah.
You just picking different women. Then
I'm saying I won't be mad.
You just picking different women. That's all. That's all he did.
So what you did was just prove.
He did
was just prove your point.
All he did was pick different women.
Right, but okay. No, but I was trying to try to take the seriousness out of the conversation.
You just picked different women.
Anyway, listen. So I had a conversation. So we were out there, and she was like, let her, let's go talk to her. This, that, and the other. My friend wanted to go talk to her. And she's up there because the cook started putting on like music because it was towards the end of the night. So I guess so she gets up and she's all over, and it was just inappropriate. It wasn't a good look for us as a whole, period, right? Yeah. So I said to her, my friend, like, oh, somebody need to talk to her, like somebody she respects. She was like, oh, let her have fun, let her express herself. And I said, we can express ourselves, but let it be in places. We're out, like, you ever hear the terminology amongst black people, like, don't act up in front of company? Like, that's where we were at. And I was like, don't do that, because then you think, that's all they think that we place value on. And I was like, somebody...
For white people.
Who cares what anybody...
No, listen where I'm going. Hold on, let me finish it. I'm almost done.
Listen.
So,
you are not somebody to talk about who cares about somebody... what they think about you. Every time you go outside, you thinking about what people think about you.
No, the fuck I don't. I wear what I want anytime I want to wear it. When I think about people. No, everybody who knows me know I don't give a fuck what people think about me.
Okay, this is why we have the artistic Gordon Fisherman in chocolate.
Exactly. You got the fisherman. I don't care. Nobody thinks. I got latex black gloves like I'm OJ Simpson shit.
Here's a
hold on.
You can go to my Instagram page, True Vine Photo, and see him in this outfit. I shot him a couple months ago.
I had the jumper on. I had the Carhartt jumper on. Though. I had the Carhartt jumper on. I had some jeans I made. I know the picture you talking about.
Right. Yeah. So my thing was that she had a conversation. So she was talking about her, and she was like, "Oh, let her." And then when I had a conversation, she was like, "Why are you so critical?" And this, that, and the other. And I said, "I'm not being critical. I'm saying." And she was like, "That's not all women." I said, "No. That's not." See, and I said to her, too many of our elderly women are letting these young girls go unchecked and they won't say anything, and so people think that some of these wild girls are a representation, like Sexy Red and all, are a representation of the women.
It ain't just the women not keeping the young girls in check. It's the men not keeping the young boys in check too.
Sexy Red.
That's a whole nother topic.
Sexy Red.
I just said. Listen,
not a representation of
I just know what
Sexy Red is the top whore. in music.
Well, all I know is I
Sexy
heard a
red.
song,
The horror music.
but
Yeah.
I listened to the lyrics and I was like, whoa.
Horror music,
And then when I said, let me watch her. Maybe that's just shock value. She talking about she got a lipstick called gonorrhea, one called booty hole pink, and I'm like, I'm good, dog. But see, y'all allow that out there, and none of our elderly women are checking this. So what happens? These young girls see this, and they see it's the easy representation. They follow it on. No, I'm saying not all of them, but I'm saying it perpetuates a new generation that's the way to be.
No,
and we have to change that because our women.
That shit got to come from home.
Right,
that shit got to come from home.
Right,
your mama got to tell you that ain't it. Like you got to touch that. That ain't it. You can't. But see, sexy red can't be your household woman you're looking at if you got a mother in a home unless your mom is a ratchet whore. That's the only way sexy red will corrupt you. If your mom is a real righteous woman, then sexy red is not going to corrupt the young woman. Only way that happens is if the mom is turning up the sexy red too. That's how that happens. If you got a righteous mom, there's like, man, what are you? Matter of fact, my daughter not listening to sexy fucking red, bro. She not. My daughter not. That's a joke. We laugh at shit like that. Like, are you fucking serious? It got to come from the moms.
But you got an active father in her life too.
You got 40-year-old moms turning up the sexy red, literally.
But your daughter also has an active father in her life too.
Absolutely.
So but it's also the mother father, yeah, but it's also these record companies and these record producers.
But we don't
wait. Let me finish.
Okay.
And so what they're doing is perpetuating a fraud, right? And making, I don't know who Sexy Red is to begin with. But I just don't. And so why should I? If she's saying and doing the things,
bro.
If she's saying and doing the things,
do your homework on Sexy Red, man.
If she's saying and doing the things that you guys are saying, I don't need to walk into that mess that she's created.
Right.
And so, but these record companies are promoting this stuff because it makes money, and if it wasn't selling, then it wouldn't go anywhere. They wouldn't continue to perpetuate this negativity that they're doing, and we got as a people stop allowing them to do that.
That's not gonna happen. That's just not gonna happen. Just like the killing shit, none of that shit's gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. It's never happened. It never happened. That's not.
Well, we gotta take a stand on principles.
Black people don't give a fuck about nothing. That's first and foremost. They don't. When I say black people, I don't really want to say it as the whole. I'm speaking of a minority group of people. Minority groups of black people, most of all, do not give a fuck about each other. That's first of all, I'm gonna tell you right. Guess why though? When we talk music, right? Even myself, fuck it. When I was talking music, when I was talking about shooting shit up, I wasn't talking about white people. I wasn't talking about another race. I wasn't talking about enemies. I was talking about was all my brothers. All niggas who look like me. I want to kill this nigga, kill that nigga, kill that nigga. So black people don't give a fuck about each other for real. They don't. They really don't.
Listen, I wouldn't say that.
We all listen to Kendrick Lamar, for example. Here we go. Here we go right now. Now, you can say what you want about Drake, right? Drake is black. He is black and white, so that makes him black because black is always the dominant gene when it's two parties.
Right. Nobody's contesting that.
So boom, they made it about race. Kendrick Lamar. Won a Grammy for that song. He won a Grammy for that song.
Lamar has a wife that's culturally ambiguous.
But they made the song. We was in the hospital. My son was getting surgery. Black History Month shit was shown on the screen. Black History Month songs. A Change Gonna Come was up there. Like all of those songs up there. And then it got to some other songs. And then They Not Like Us was up there as a Black History Month song. You didn't see the Super Bowl? The Super Bowl made that. The Super Bowl literally showed you what he was trying to do too. Make it a black thing. Make it as a Drake. You see what he said about Drake? They not like us. Meaning white people not like us. That was a race song for real. People don't even know that shit. They not like us was a race song. They not like us was a race song. That song was about race. And Drake is white and black, literally. And that's why he said we don't like you saying nigga. That's why he said it in one song.
Yeah, but that separates us. You can't do that because then You got all the Afro Latinos and brothers who grew up in New York.
I agree.
Like you got Fat Joe out there.
I agree.
You got brothers who are part of us.
I agree with you, man.
And for the work that Fat Joe's put in on the streets, who gonna take that away from him? And same with Drake. We can say what we want to say.
Drake is black, man.
No. I'm saying he is. I'm agreeing with you, but I'm saying like it's like now what they gonna do. But now what they doing is they want to sit up here and do this, right? But it's celebrated because it's us tearing apart each other, like you said earlier, right?
Because if that's the case, I'm not fully black. If
yeah,
you want to start picking that apart like that,
we ain't doing that.
We picking it apart. Who's black? Who's not black? Who's fully black? Right. If that's the case, are any of us truly, fully all full African? I'm Dominican and black, so therefore I would disqualify.
That's still black.
I'm not like us. Drake is white and black, so he's black. Exactly.
That's still black. So anything you mix us with is us. That's why you have Afro Latinos, you have Afro Mexicans, like they acknowledge that where their culture comes from. Like the Dominicans, Haitians, same people. They just speak different languages and share the island.
Like downtown and coast. So that's how it's Haiti and Dominican.
Right. So I don't subscribe to that. And I told my kids this, and my kids like, oh, so I said no, that she's black, and they're like, why do you? And because I'm tired of this. Because now that the census to where certain superiors, individuals feel like they're getting diminished, they want to mention, well, you're part of us. You're part of us. When they were never a part of you. Black people have always loved and taken care of our own, and we didn't give a shit if you was half Japanese, Pioneers, Lebanese, whatever you were. If you are us, you are us. Like
anyway, getting back to the topic,
right?
Of the other situation initially we was talking about. I think women. I think it can be changed.
Yeah, but that's God's job, not my job. I'm not fixing no hoe. I can't. I'm sorry. I'm not putting in the work. I done had hoes tell me lead them to church. No. You got to have your own relationship with God. And then they say that's brutal. You're supposed to be a leader. You're supposed to be a man. Yeah, my job is to lead. No, my job is not to lead you into something, right? Like you said, you had a conversation. You said that when you going on a path with somebody, you want to walk with somebody who's already in that direction. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to drag you when you walking the other way around. And I say this all the time.
But he doesn't have a relationship with Christ either. So if he
Franco,
no,
or you talking about the dude?
The dude. Yeah.
Oh, I was about to say Franco. Shoot,
no, Franco. No.
That's what I thought. He said no. He talked about somebody else.
Our friend. He doesn't have a relationship with Christ.
If I tell one story that I just told y'all before we turned the cameras on about me picking a phone call up and hearing, and it wasn't me, and then me not giving a fuck, then going and meeting the person.
Oh, that's wild.
I don't even care. You're not my wife or my girlfriend.
I forgot about that story.
What? And then hitting her 10 more times and saying, get the fuck off.
Oh, no.
I didn't care.
No, hold on.
We don't talk about that.
He leaving out so much. So he was talking to this girl, and he was calling her. And I guess he was calling her all day. He couldn't get her.
I called her all day. I went and picked her ass up, brought her up here.
No,
be with me at the crib.
Right, before you did that, when she was in the crib with the next dude, I just saw you calling.
Nighttime, right? Gonna pick her back up.
Right, but
he's folks' house. She getting her hair done.
Right, but she was getting her ass done.
Yeah,
because dude that she was with.
I was calling her, and finally that motherfucker picked up, and I heard I know it wasn't me. I started laughing and shit. I started laughing, and she called me like the next morning, like, "What's up?" Like, "What's up?"
Right.
Like,
she knew
I'm mad.
She knew that you had heard her.
She knew I heard her. Yeah,
right.
I was mad. I'm like, "What's up? You mad?"
So you wasn't mad.
Fuck, I'm mad for you. You're not my wife. You're not my baby. You're not my kid's mom. I don't give a fuck about you. Like, literally, I don't care. I really don't care. Like, what you want to do? You want to fuck me? You want to fuck him? You want to fuck both of us? How you want to do this?
So you really trying to get you 700?
Huh? 700.
Yeah.
I don't need 700. Well, you don't misinterpret me with Solomon. I don't want.
That's what you said.
700.
Okay, no, but I didn't. Hold on. You robbing us of the rest. Dog, you robbing us of the rest of the story. Go ahead.
I'll tell you the story.
Go ahead.
So I said, like, she's like, look, like I'm supposed to be mad that I heard her getting fucked. I don't give a fuck. You going to fuck me and fuck him, or you going to fuck me, or which one of them is it? She picked me. So in my head, I'm already diabolical on my diabolical shit. I'm going to hit you. I already hit you once. Now I got to hit you 10 times. 9 more times I'm going to hit you. After the 10th time, you got to get your goofy ass on. And that's what happened.
So here, look.
That's what happened. That's a
No.
true
So
story.
here's
That's a
what
true story.
I told Chuck this a while ago, right? And I don't know, Franco, what you're looking for as far as a relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not, then that's fine. That's cool. But if you are, and I told Chuck this because he is, and he wants that God-led woman in his life, that God is not going to put his daughter in the midst of your mess.
Mm-hmm.
And so if that's what you are looking for, then the lifestyle that you're leading at this point is not going to work. But if that's not what you're looking for, and you're just looking at, okay, well, I'm going to do what I want to do here on earth, God going to forgive me, and, I don't care how it's going to be, because when I get to heaven, it's just going to be totally different. That's the lifestyle that you'll live. I don't want to live that lifestyle. I want to bring heaven here on earth. I do, and you see it in me because you tell me that all the time.
Yeah.
Right. And so,
Frank was like, yeah, that's your shit, not mine.
that's fine. But I'm still gonna love you like my brother. But that's just not me.
He said, yeah, one.
It's hell on earth. It's hell on earth.
Nah, but see, that's a perspective. See, listen, the thing is,
ain't no perspective.
No, it is.
Donald Trump is in office. It's hell on earth, bro. Hell on earth. Donald Trump is in office.
Nah, here's the thing.
This is a felon. We got a felon as a president. It's hell on earth, bro.
But
I'm cool. I'm straight. I'm gonna get my whatever goes on when I get up in heaven. Right. It's gonna be better. I know that this shit down here is wild.
But
that's one thing that I know. It's hard to bring heaven on to a place that literally worships evil.
I said, listen, two things I'm gonna say that, and I said this.
That's a hard battle.
And listen, my heart is heavy right now with the way the current climate is, right? And I've said this, and I said, America. We posted this on the excerpt on the website. America has a taste for apple pie, but a thirst for blood, right? But with the spirit being said, is I understand that God has a purpose and a plan for everything that is happening. We can't see what good that this is going to bring about now, so we just gotta wait.
You tripping now, man?
I know, but it's our time to trust God.
Trump got ISIS walking in people's houses, grabbing them up, taking them, deporting them and shit. That when America's been doing that.
I need to...
No. I'm saying Donald Trump is.
He grabbed me like you
They did it to the people who live up the street to me. I seen it happen. So it hit different. It hit different when you seen it happen. I seen it happen to the Mexicans that live up the street to me. ICE, come grab them. They don't live up the street no more. Wherever they took their ass, that's where their ass is at. They ain't there. That's why I said I seen it. I'm like, this is some crazy shit. I never seen this in my years of living in America. This is what America doing now. This shit getting worse. So you trying to bring heaven on earth? Do that. I understand what you're saying with your wife and all of that. That's beautiful. Keep that in your home, but you ain't gonna do that shit out there. That shit ain't gonna happen.
Hold on. I think if we want to change the world, right, we got to start with ourselves first. And so, and then our children, right? I mean, you've done a phenomenal job with raising your kids, right? I mean, you got a daughter that graduated summa cum laude from what university?
East
Stroudsburg. You got a son that's the most dynamic and best basketball player over there at where?
Yeah,
Immaculata. And then Faya is an artist like you, right? So, you have changed their future by the stuff that you went through, right? And
that's why I wouldn't change what I went through. That's why I'll be telling motherfuckers like, they be like, damn, you could do it different what you were and change all the shit. Even getting shot, anything that I went through. Like, hell no. Because if I didn't go through the shit I went through, I won't probably be able to show them the shit, and they probably might have to go through it. Mm-hmm. I tripped over all them wires, so they don't have to.
Right.
I was like, see all them wires right there? That's that shit you don't want to trip over. Go around it. So they're able to do that. You feel what I'm saying? Right. That's why when you
but they had a father to help them navigate around.
Because them wires, because that's what happened.
Even when you was locked up, I mean, you still had influence over them.
Yeah, because I'm talking to them and shit, and I've been in their life all the way up to a certain point until when
a lot of men that have been locked up and they don't take care of the kids. Like they're just trying to do their time. And they're just worried about themselves, but obviously you were different and still are different you're a great father. I mean, I've seen you with your kids and how you take care of them and in the lessons that you teach them and how you are around them.
That gotta be when you do that to your kids or something.
Yeah.
That gotta be something like personal with you, like to be like that. Like even if you've been through hell and back, or like it be the guys, like even the guys who got the perfect upbringing, who treat their kids the dirtiest. It be the motherfuckers who been through so much shit who treat their kids the best.
Well,
so it be like you see that shit like the guy who went to Harvard or some shit.
Yeah.
He got a kid. He do nothing for his kids, shit like that.
Right.
But it be a motherfucker who like had to went through the struggle and all that, and want to see their kids do way better than them. That's what it be. You understand? But you feel what I mean? Like so.
Well, I always tell my kids like I went through it, so you don't have to. Like, don't go to school talking at Philly and all this other stuff and what your cousins and what family does. Don't go to school talking that. Like let them. You ain't nowhere near that. You suburban kids, and that's just the way it is, right? And my thing is that, and also talk about like we talk about going back to the topic we were talking about earlier about finding a whore and a housewife. And I would say the next thing I had to talk with my son this the other day, and I had a conversation, and he was asking me about like what you want to do, and I said, my greatest thing is I want to serve God, right? And that is my commitment to a relationship. And I want to be in a relationship that was going to serve God. I can't, and so when you're talking to someone, they don't understand it because they think it's something more than what it is. I have simple requests that I want, like ironing my shirt Sunday morning, having a relationship with Christ, being able to go to God about me, right? Because I'm not going to always be perfect, right? But understanding that when I can check you on certain things that you go beyond, that you understand that it's a biblical check and that it's your man who's providing protection and that you're not in your emotions about stuff, but you're in the Bible about stuff. You see what I'm saying? So I need a woman that's going to, and when you have that conversation, people don't understand that. They think like, oh, you're being bougie, you doing this, why are you being complicated? And I'm not. I'm 53. So whatever I do is going to lead into retirement. And I don't want to be stuck in somebody else's brokenness, right? And that's not to say that I won't work with somebody, but I don't want. Because the thing is that you want
them to be walking in that same direction.
Right.
Even if they're walking a little bit slower than you are, a lot slower,
right.
You want them to have a genuine want and desire to have a relationship with Christ, right?
And honestly,
in the sexy red.
And honestly, listen, they're from some street trauma, right? Okay, but honestly, when Franco talks on some street trauma, man, you don't want to be the guy at home with the whore that's on the streets. That's a very real thing, and as much as I pray, but that's a very much of a fear. Like that is real conversation, man. And the thing is that because you've seen, some good girls with wild tendencies, man, and they want to be good at home and they don't want to go out street and do what they want to do. And back to the conversation about a friend of ours, he didn't understand what Franco was trying to do. Franco knew the history of what the other person was dealing with.
I mean, we may not be able to turn them into a housewife, right?
But that's God, because
that's what I'm about to say.
He who findeth a wife findeth a good thing.
I know I serve a big God, right?
Right.
So he can do whatever. He can change minds. He can change bodies. He can change attitudes. Especially if she has a good partner or a good man that's leading her. Again, he doesn't. He is a crazy good dude. So, so hopefully that relationship will pan out the way they wanted to. So yesterday I'm on the phone with Franco. We're on the phone for like a half an hour, 45 minutes.
See how you can
listen.
What?
Listen.
Date somebody younger than you.
Listen.
That drive me crazy.
Stop. Let me speak.
Go ahead.
So yesterday, me and Franco was on the phone, right? And I said to him that I was considering going to seminary school, and I haven't told you about that.
You did.
Well, I didn't. Okay. So Franco goes. He was like, dude, I couldn't do that. And I was like, he just goes into like, I don't know, all the stuff I got going on, I couldn't do that. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He said, yeah, you just take up too much time. I just don't have a lot of time. I'm doing this, and the other. And so I'm like, I'm talking about me. I'm talking about me going to seminary.
He's trying to support you.
I know. So Franco was like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. He's like, I don't know if I can do that. I said, Franco, you ain't got to come with me. He said, well, maybe when you get your church, he said, maybe I could be a deacon. I said, that's my point. I said, that's my point. He said, I would love to learn more about that. He said, I would love to do that, but I still don't think I could go to school.
That's real support.
Like this, like so, like he was like, I was like, damn, do I enter both of us into seminary school?
No bullshit.
Like, but you could ordain him as a deacon though when you went to
no bullshit.
He's like, I come. So we started talking.
But
I ain't anti against doing that. I'm not saying like no.
But he was just like totally like in lockstep with me. Like, oh man, like he was like thinking about being there with me. Yeah,
this is why we love Franco.
Boy, do it first.
Then
that might be, you know what I'm saying? I gotta see him do it first.
Yeah, but you imagine how many young brothers will put their Twitches down. Do it
really,
So, he said what he said yesterday. He said because if I was to do it, I would just be in lock. Like I would just get it done. I said I couldn't get in. I would have to do it. I couldn't get anything. He would have to put blinders on. He wouldn't do anything else but study and be in seminary school.
Yeah, and I ain't changing. I ain't changing who I am.
Well, you got it.
Not like as far as like I'm not changing my aura. Like as far as like language I use and stuff like that, and cursing and just like fornicating with all types of different women, all that shit have changed. Yeah. Like for real. But me being me and how I am, it's just like how I am. That's what they're gonna attract more people to that and see me like that. You feel me? I know I can gravitate people or bring people towards the Lord by just how I am, because I'm not gonna, if I do change in the person that I am, like I excluding the evil talking, cursing and all that, and fuck, like I said, fucking all these different bitches and shit, all that shit like that. Like I changed that part. Yeah, I can change that part. But as far as me, like with the fly shit and all that, I'm gonna be doing all the shit, fashionable shit. I'm gonna be doing, and I'm gonna talk. I'm just gonna exclude using foul language. It's gonna be still the way I talk. It be less, won't be no foul language. No, I don't have to use profanity. I don't like using profanity. It's just sometimes with profanity, sometimes that's the only language people understand. No, it ain't. Fuck out of here. Get the fuck away from me. Please leave me the fuck alone. What the fuck are you talking about? Ask me, how'd you get here? My mom told me to go. Come here. I died. We'll go to hell. Now, she cursed me. But that's a curse, right? Fuck isn't a curse. It's a French word. Excuse my French. You say fuck this, fuck that. I don't give a fuck about this. Excuse my French, right?
That ain't no fucking French.
Pardon my French. It is. Fuck. No, it is. No, that is. Fuck, it is. Why? It's pardon my French. Fuck, it is. That's what I'm saying. But it's a curse word. God. It's not a curse word, but I won't be, if I was a deacon, I wouldn't be fuck, all this, fuck that. But my mom's a minister.
This is friggery.
Nah, you got pastors and preachers who do curse, though.
Yeah. Nah, but they not serving the Lord's will. They're not serving the Lord's will.
You can't say that, though. You can say he might, this man might curse his ass off, right?
You can't be in God. You can't be in a pulpit.
This is the judge part of people.
That's not judging.
You can judge a person on saying he curses a lot, but then what if this man just saves 10 people?
You can't say, but listen, you can't save somebody by leading them down a different path that's just as wrong as the path they're on.
So just because he cursed, that mean he can't lead them down the path for goodness?
But listen, the Bible teaches us to draw closer to Christ, right? So that means in our way we speak and in the way we act.
Franklin's not saying he curses in the pulpit when he's preaching to people.
No, he's saying,
exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying.
That's exactly what he's saying.
No, it's not what I'm saying. I'm saying because a man curses in his life.
He's just in his life. Like,
in
when he's walking around.
No one's going to get up there.
I cuss and I have to stop doing it.
Cursing in the pulpit would be crazy.
No, I'm just saying, but
that would be just
I curse and I know I have to stop doing because my favorite.
I don't.
My favorite thing is to tell you when you get on earth, yo, suck pussy down. And my next one, stop the fuckery. No, stop your foolishness. This is what I tell my kids.
I don't even curse at my kids though.
I don't.
Now see, you do that, and I don't do that. I don't hit. What the fuck are you doing to my?
I don't do that.
Talk to them like
I don't do that. I don't talk to my kids like that.
That's when I exclude it, because when I curse, my shit sounds really aggressive because I got a certain like aggressive voice. So I really try not to throw the curse word, and I'm like, yo, what are you? This is enough with them. What are you doing? They get that. I don't have to throw. But with a grown man, sometimes you got to throw that in.
The only time I'll ever do
you
it.
just cursed in a whole Jamaican accent.
No,
That's just even dangerous. That's dangerous.
So here what
That's dangerous.
my kids. I've had to take the power.
What did you just say? Hold on. What you
Which
said?
one?
Fuckery. Get the fuckery. What the fuck did you just say?
We're not gonna start shit with me.
No, that was crazy.
That's a curse word.
Shit.
No, it's a beautiful
said
thing.
some
Now you say it to your kids all the time. I mean,
No. I don't say pussy or no. What I say to them is when I carry them back with my family, when I first started carrying, my kids are very sensitive. Yo, pussy Clyde, what Raz Clyde, what your butt.
All Jamaican curse words.
Right? So they would be like, dang,
right.
like, I don't want till they were so overly sensitive and I felt like I had to guard them. So I'd be like, I had to tell them, like, these are words. Like, let's take this out. You're going to be around certain class of your family and you're going to have to worry about it because they have a certain of your family that's still up that same echelon. They come from this, so this is the way they may speak. So sometimes when you hear me do it, because my kids were at one point like the timid suburban kids. And so I had to like talk to them like a little, like I was like, what does this mean? So do you afraid of this? So that's the only reason, but it's hard, fuck you, get the fuck over here, your mother, I don't talk to them like that.
Yeah,
it's funny, like, cause like the blood clot, all that shit, like that don't sound like the American curse word, like fuck and blood clot. They don't sound the same, do they?
Because it's the way you say it. Like if you about to run me over the traffic, like blood clot.
Hey, man, bro, that's not gonna hit like fuck.
Right, that's
not gonna hit.
I know, but that's what I'm saying.
Don't they?
Right.
If I say it's Shawn, the blood clot, but so you gonna just go. I say, man, what the fuck, man, are you doing? Now it goes up a left.
Curse word thing.
I don't know.
He was talking about saying curses and
that's why you
Franco was talking about changing.
Oh yeah, changing.
We wouldn't say it anymore.
Back on the topic. Wasn't it a
thousands and thousands of curse
words? Wasn't it a horror in the Bible though? It wasn't.
Yes, plenty of wars in the Bible.
That's what I said.
That's what I'm telling you. Trying to tell you, Jesus revealed himself to the woman at the well who had 5 husbands already.
Right.
And so he told her that. He told her, like, listen,
weren't they trying to stone Jesus? They were stoning the whore, right?
That was Jesus told him he who was without sin cast the first stone. It was not the same person.
But don't want y'all to go nobody understand me say that I'm against whores because I fuck whores. Don't get me wrong, I do. I fuck whores. She's a whore. I just told y'all a story about a whore. Yeah. Did I not just tell you a story about a whore? If I pick up the phone and she, not me, and I go meet her, and then I get to hit her 10 more times. Is she a whore, Chuck?
So wait. So
I'm not against them.
Okay, so if
just say you can't turn them to housewives. That's all.
So he's cool. So he's cool, right?
You have to cut his name out.
Yeah, we gotta cut the name out.
He's cool for doing it. You was just trying to protect him.
I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was wild. Don't.
Okay, you keep emphasizing it. What's the name?
So,
I know.
Okay, yeah, no, that's not cool.
Listen, here's the thing.
I'm not saying that's cool because he's wiping her up. Yeah. So you're not making sense again. You see why it's not cool? He's wiping her up. See what I'm saying? When I'm speaking and saying what I did, I said, oh, no, I'm not worried about that. Then 9 more times because I hit 10, and you're gone. Your goofy ass is gone. Not me. Yo, Shawn, this happened and I'm still about to marry her. You get what I'm saying? Now he about to, because I know this person, and he about to wipe her up. No, man, you supposed to, then get your ass on. That's what now he about to, so he's talking about he's cool. No, he's not cool.
Okay, I got you.
He's not cool.
No, I'm saying you was just trying to protect him.
Yes, I was. Right. That's how it backfired.
Well,
it backfired. I didn't even get mad in there as a no man. Luckily, he wasn't in there.
We've done a long time ago.
Okay, listen. So here's what I'm gonna say. Basic for us in this episode, right? When I talked about earlier about the girl twerking, and it was about older women not holding her accountable, right? I think what Francodea was trying to do, and our brother, we have to talk, was trying to hold him accountable, right? In the end, when marriage and babies come along, we all support you. We don't really wish nothing negative on nobody, rather you marry a whore or a girl from next door, right?
No.
But
Just know what you're signing up for.
Right, and somebody should tell you, like, if I'm walking into a brick wall, I need somebody to tell me that my head's hurting because I keep walking into a brick wall. Yeah, you know what I mean? I want my brothers to tell me, and this is why we have a brotherhood. There's another of us, right? And there's
all
a few of us,
people,
right?
All different backgrounds,
Right.
All different personalities. Right. We all love each other.
For real, I really was like, and this is some real shit. I really thought highly more of him, and that's the reason why.
And I explained that.
Was trying to say,
I explained that.
Bro, I look higher. You picking her up, and they're laughing at you up here. They're coming to me like, "Dang, you know him?" Right. And she comes back, and he picking her up in the Range Rover.
Right.
They're saying that to me up in the trenches.
Right.
I'm like, shit, I gotta talk to him. So then it come back to that, and I'm like, you know,
I'm just saying, how does he get more love in his situation? But when I needed you, I couldn't get no defense. You was like, no, Shook, you should sue me.
Because I didn't know. I actually did.
I didn't know.
She got in the range and she moved over.
Yeah, I know, but I apologize to you. Did I apologize to you, though?
Going for
in the kitchen, did I apologize?
Yeah.
I said, I ain't know how he
so
know like that. I ain't know that.
We're going to end this with this, right?
Yeah.
So this is what true brotherhood looks like, right?
Yeah.
When your brother is out there floundering or losing, or just going in the wrong direction, you, as his friend who cares about him and loves him, has to be there for him, regardless of how it's going to affect you guys' relationship.
Mm-hmm.
If he views what you're saying to him negatively,
mm-hmm.
you know, you still got to put it out there and let him know that you care about him and that he's walking, like you said, into a brick wall, into a situation where you're not sure he's going to come out in that situation well. So we got to protect our brothers. Same thing for your sisters. Do the same thing for your sister in need. But yeah,
what it looks like. Hold each other accountable.
Yeah.
Like the thing is that it is not, like as she said, why don't you say anything? Because it is not my job as a man to correct a woman's behavior if she's not my woman or my daughter, right? Or my niece or anything like that. That is up to the elderly black women to do that. See him with us, right? That's why this situation came about. We were trying to hold each other accountable. It is up to us to recognize us behavior. And listen, sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes, a lot of times, I'm on the hot seat.
Streets. She for the streets, bro. And sometimes you gotta accept the fact that some women are for the streets. They are just, some women are just like men. That's some things that you have to accept. Some women, but what I seen this woman that we were speaking about, dude, I was there. Like, I seen what I seen. I know what I seen. I can't unsee it. He wants me to unsee it. He told you he wants me to unsee it. That's kind of what he said.
I don't think.
I saw what I saw, though, Shawn. You understand? It's like when you say something, you can't unsay it.
You were trying
you can't unhear it.
You were trying to protect
seen what I seen, Chuck.
You took it the wrong way.
Yeah, I saw what I saw. It's not my fault that I saw what I saw, and then happened to meet him through y'all, and then he up with that shit. You understand?
Right. Call us out. Call us out. Moment of man.
Listen.
Y'all know how to do that. Yeah, I don't know how to do that.
Shawn Sims, Francodea, Chuck Williams.
We'll see y'all in the next podcast.
Moment of Men.
Out.
Listen, before we get out, I want to get into something. I want to say this.
Oh, another half an hour.
No, half an hour business.
All right.
Yeah, you chat too much.
All right.
So.
No. Hurry up. We got to pay for commercials.
So, my thing is that just understand, ladies, that we hope you didn't take offense to the conversation to the ladies in the chat. That the idea is that as Moment of Men, we want to share how men truly feel. And men, we have our fears about certain things because a lot of times women just assume that a man is supposed to do all this stuff and is supposed to do it without fear and without hesitation. But when we give our protection and our affection to someone, most of us, when we lay down a foundation, we don't want to uproot ourselves. It is very difficult for us. It is very difficult for men to get into relationships, and it's very difficult for us to get out of them. We don't recover very well. So my thing is that the idea in this topic is that to make sure that we are holding each other accountable. We hope and ladies are doing the same. Have your relationship with Christ and be ready for what you're asking for. Too many women are out there looking for a relationship or a man to save them. Save yourself. Put yourself on a yacht so that when I come along on a boat, we can share or we can ride the waves together. But I am not pulling you from a water 30 feet down, and you not even know how to take the rescue, the raft, the reef, or anything I give you.